Hello, this is Father David, here with day 14 of the Nativity Fast 2023. Our gospel reading today is going to finish the 19th chapter of St. Luke, beginning in verse 45 and going to verse 48. And when he, Christ, entered the temple, he began to put out those who were buying and selling in it. And he said to them, "It is written, my house is the house of prayer, but you have made it a cave of bandits." And he taught every day in the temple. But the high priest and the scribes and the elders of the people sought to get rid of him, but they were not able to find what to do to him, for all the people gathered around him to hear him. So you have something happening in the Jewish temple. In tomorrow's gospel reading, they're going to try and call him on it. But for today, let's speak of his actions in the temple. They want to know by what authority he does this. And tomorrow we'll talk about his answer to them. But this question of authority, which goes into the next chapter for tomorrow's reading, by what authority do you do these things? Well, this is, for Christians, one of several. This wasn't the only time that he cleansed the temple. In John's gospel, it's recorded that he did this at the very beginning of his ministry. And in the synoptic gospels, it's reported that he did it again at the end of his ministry. He's God in the flesh. He's able to do this, and he knows that it is not yet his time to die, that he will not ever be murdered apart from giving up his life willingly. So he comes in at this point, and this time is, however, where the ball begins to roll, and the chief priests and the scribes and the Pharisees begin in earnest to plot. He's entered into Jerusalem, as we've read a couple of days ago, and now he has cleansed the temple, and they're saying, that's it. He's completely disregarding the Levitical priesthood. The Levitical priesthood, of course, from the Jewish tribe of Levi, the 12 tribes being named after 12 sons of Jacob, one of the patriarchs of the Jewish race. He had 12 sons. They each had a tribe of children, and those tribes became all the people of the Israelites. And the Levites, the sons of Levi, were the priests. That was the priestly family. And it was understood that if you were going to be a priest of the God of Israel, you had to be from the tribe of Levi. But here's this person coming in, not from the tribe of Levi, from the house of David, right? From Judah, this sort of thing. What in the world is he doing in the temple, trying to govern affairs that don't concern him? He's not a Levite. Well, St. Theophylact, of course, as we've been reading through, he speaks of this. And for Christians, this has long been understood, that Christ is a priest, but after the order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek, of course, being someone who mysteriously comes out of nowhere in the Old Testament when Abraham, the father of all of the Abrahamic peoples, the Semites, right, in the ancient Near East, comes and he meets Abraham and he offers him bread and wine. Of course, for Christians, how could this not be an image of the Holy Eucharist, of Holy Communion? But he has no history. He has no father, mother, lineage. No one knows where he comes from. But he is a priest of God Most High. He is recognized as that. And quoting the psalm, which speaks of the coming one, the Christ, the anointed one, the Messiah, the deliverer, "Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek." Okay. And this is, from the Old Testament. And we always see this in the reference there is Psalm 109, verse 4. thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, speaking of Christ, because he comes as the man from heaven. Now he, of course, does have a mother and a lineage, but in another sense, no one really knows the path that he has come to be with us. And he appears and he is our priest. He is not after the order of the flesh through the genealogical Levitical tribe, but he is a different kind of priest. And for Christians, this moment of the cleansing of the temple is to say, the temple of God, the worship of God, does not belong to the Levites anymore, but to the high priest that is in the line of Melchizedek. So St. Theophylact begins, he says, but they ask, by what authority do you do these things? The law directs those descended from Levi to keep in good order the affairs of the people. But you, who are not descended from the tribe of Levi, how dare you usurp the duties of a priest? And then St. Theophylact continues on in his own voice, but remember, O Jews, what David said of Christ, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, Psalm 109. Melchizedek was called a priest, yet he was not a priest according to the law, nor was he of the tribe of Levi. How could he have been, having been born before Levi? In the same vein, why do you seek to place Christ within the classifications of the law? Laws do not apply to God. When it was time to do so, God commanded that the priest come from the tribe of Levi. But now he transfers duties, giving preference to the priesthood of Melchizedek. And there's a note here, see Hebrews chapters 7 and 8. And then he continues, this is why the Lord casts out from the temple those buying and selling the animals of sacrifice, such as sheep and doves, not only out of concern for reverence and orderliness in the temple, but also to show that it is no longer necessary to believe that God is moved to mercy by the sacrifice of animals. It would have been easy for the Lord to answer them, as we have said, and to say that it is the prophet, or more correctly, God himself, who commands them to do these things. So we have for us an understanding that we within Christianity have a great high priest who has come to us not from a family tree of our own fellow humans, of broken, fallen natures, but one who has come from heaven after the order of Melchizedek, who has come pure, holy, immortal, living, life-giving. Okay? This is our priest who offers himself as a sacrifice, and his life untainted by death is the only thing that is sufficient to overrule the death that holds us captive. So our priest after the order of Melchizedek is the one who comes into this old temple and says, there is a shift going. There is a movement. There is a change occurring in God's priestly presence on the earth, communicating his grace to mankind. So may we remember this, that our God has come to give us a priesthood, not from earth, but from heaven, to therefore connect us again to the life of the world to come in heaven, where our true citizenship is. So Lord God bless you. Lord willing, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.